11.3 is all about factoring. The process of rewriting a polynomial as the product of two or more factors is called factoring the polynomial. Three properties typically go into doing this, and these are the distributive property, which we are all familiar with, special factoring patterns, such as the difference of squares, which is a squared minus b squared equals a plus b times a minus b, and the factoring theorem, but that comes in 11.4. We will work through two examples and factor them completely. Before we start, you must know that finding the greatest common factor as well as the highest degree that evenly divides out of the equation is the most important step. In example 1, we will be factoring 4x to the third minus 20x to the second. Our first step is to determine if there is a greatest common factor. The greatest common factor of 4 and 20 is 4, and the greatest number of x's that can come out of the equation is 2. So we will take 4x to the second out of the equation, leaving x minus 5. Okay, so we are left with 4x to the second times x minus 5, after dividing the whole equation by 4x to the second. We then have to check our answer by distributing the 4x squared back to the x and the negative 5, which gives us 4x to the third minus 20x to the second. Okay, so this is the equation we started with, meaning that this answer is correct, and our factored form of 4x to the third minus 20x to the second is 4x to the second times x minus 5. This example is slightly more involved. When you look at 2x squared minus 7x minus 15, your first thought is probably that there is nothing that evenly divides out of anything. This is when a new concept comes in that you can never forget. Slide, divide, and bottoms up. To make the problem factorable, we will slide the first coefficient, which is 2, to the last coefficient, which is 15. This makes the equation x squared minus 7x minus 30. You have to make sure you clearly label that you slid, because this will be important as we progress in the problem. Now that we can factor, we make our x chart and we put our c value, which is negative 30, at the top, and our b value, which is negative 7, at the bottom. To find the two factoring terms, they must add to get b, which is negative 7, and multiply to get c, which is negative 30. So in this case, our factors come out to be negative 10 and positive 3. We then put these in parentheses, so we have x minus 10 and x plus 3. Okay, so now the divide part of our slide, divide, and bottoms up comes into play. So now we have to divide out the 2 that we multiplied with the 15. So here we divide the 2. So we have x minus 5 and x plus 3 over 2. Since we actually cannot have a fraction in our final answer, we have to move our bottoms up. So when we move the bottoms up, we have x minus 5, and then we move the 2 in front of this x, so we have 2x plus 3. So this is what we think is our answer, but we can never forget to check it. So let's check this here. Okay, so that is 2x squared minus 7x and minus 15. So this right here is our completely factored answer. And that's about as easy as it is. You just can't forget the slide, divide, and bottoms up. That's the most important thing in factoring.